For $210, this seems like a quality mid-ranger. So let's see if everything is okay. This is what the battery came in. It's good protection, but there was no plastic bag around it, which I have seen all other batteries do. So I took the battery out and charged it immediately. Then I did the discharge test at 0.2 C and I got 1233 watt hours, which is 96.3 amp hours. So that's not enough. I think this is because the cells are not balanced, and I will talk about this soon. So then I charged the battery to figure out the cell efficiency and put a total of 1313 watt hours back into the battery, which gives us an efficiency of 94%. That's quite low for a 0.2 C test. Normally, we would see at least 95%. And I will take a look at the cells inside shortly. Remember, the battery wasn't balanced. In my last video, I showed if a battery cannot charge to 14.2 volts, it's likely a balance issue. At 14.17 volts, the battery hit overcharge voltage protection, which you will see in the video now. So it needs some time to balance. So I charged it up to 100% and let it balance. In the meantime, I thought I would take a look at the app to see the individual cell voltages. But that didn't work. The app couldn't find the battery. It could find the water battery, so the app is not malfunctioning. It's the BMS inside. To use the app to see the battery data, you don't need an account. There's also a support section where you do need an account for. So I registered and I got in touch with customer service. The response took less than 24 hours, but the instructions they gave me did not help. If I was a paying customer, I would have returned this battery by now. But I'm not, so let's open the battery up and see what's inside. Let's remove these first. There is no glue or thread lock, but there's a spring washer. It's a 4 gauge or 25mm square lug. And we have 9 gauge cables, 2 of them. And 6 gauge cable. The BMS sits here on the side. So let's try to take off this plate first. I already took out the screws from the sides here. We have 2 temperature sensors on the same spot. Balancing cables are held down with tape. I will try and scan the QR code of the cells. Okay, so we do have some ripped here, so that's okay. Let's take a look at the cell voltages because we had an imbalance. 3.47, 3.41, 3.35, 3.44. So that's an imbalance of about 120 millivolts after an hour of rest. So let's take out the battery pack and take a look at the BMS. Let's take a look now at how to remove the BMS that's crammed in here. I saw on the outside that there is some ventilation here for the heat of the BMS. And here we have it. Let me do some research on the BMS. I just see here that this is a rubber gasket which protects the battery from air or water ingress, and it sits on this backplate. So this might have been waterproof. So I removed the BMS from the battery, and I've never seen this BMS before. So I looked for the brand. So I had to open this BMS. And we can see the BMS is from a company called lisbms.com. I went to their website, but I couldn't find any information about this BMS. But what I could find is here, these are the balancing resistors. If you look closely, you can see 101 ohms. That means it's a balancing current of 35 milliamps. That's very low. So now I will reconnect the balancing cables and take out my heat camera and see if these are indeed the balancing resistors. On the Valtra battery, for example, that's a balancing current of 200 milliamps, which is working perfectly fine. But 101 ohms per cell is not enough current for balancing, in my opinion. My suspicion has been confirmed that these are the bleed resistors. Right now they're about 23 degrees. That's the only bleed resistor that's possible on this board. So only 35 milliamps, which is not enough. It's the next day. I left the battery to balance overnight, but nothing improved. Here are the measurements I took yesterday, and let's measure the current ones. The cell voltage are basically unchanged from last night. There is still about a 200 millivolt spread at the top. So the pack can't recover from an imbalance on its own. So let's see what the state of charge difference is between the highest and the lowest cell. I'm going to use my capacity testers and measure it. I will set them to 20 amps and record how many amp hours I can draw from each of these two cells. Cell 3 is the lowest. I connect the positive and the negative to the tester. We're set at 20 amps and cutoff is 2.5 volts. Let's hit start. Then we have the highest cell, which is cell 1, positive and negative. Set to 20 amps and cutoff is 2.5 volts. And let's start this test as well. I will see you in about 5 hours. And we're back. We finished the discharge. Cell 3, unsurprisingly, got 97 amp hours. That's the same as the capacity test, so that makes sense. And then the high cell got 103.5 amp hours. So that's a total difference of 6.5 amp hours. If we divide it by the balancing current of 35 milliamps, because of the 101 ohm resistors, the time it takes to balance is 185 hours. At this point, I don't recommend this battery, and it's not just because of one issue. It didn't deliver the rated 100 amp hours, it repeatedly hit overvoltage protection because it's unbalanced, and the Bluetooth feature didn't work at all. On top of that, the balancing hardware is weak. There are extra few red flags I want to mention. The Amazon listing doesn't match what I received. The listing shows a different internal layout with the BMS on top. The low temperature protection behavior is also strange. It only kicks in at -7 degrees Celsius, which is not protecting the battery from freezing temperatures. And finally, the marketing claims don't line up with reality. They're marketing cycle life numbers of 15,000 cycles, while the actual cell datasheet says 5,000 cycles. I'm going to end the review here. There's no point in doing more tests when the basics aren't met. If a 12V 100Ah battery can't reliably charge to full and pull at least 100 amp hours out of a standard test, it's not a product I can recommend. I get it, Ecoworthy wanted to bring something innovative with the cooling method of the BMS and the display on top, but I would stick to the basics and deliver balanced cells, a good BMS with 200 mA of balanced current, and start at 3.4 balanced voltage with a workable Bluetooth module. Maybe I got a bad unit, but as a customer, you shouldn't pay to be the quality control department. We are a few days later. If there are a lot of issues, I give the company a fair chance to respond. So I contact Ecoworthy, and this is what they told me. They said that the battery I requested, which is version 2, was not available, so they sent me version 1. They said the balancing may take some time, but with this balancing hardware, it's gonna take a lot of time. The version they sent me does not have Bluetooth, and they asked me to not publish this video because this could hurt their sales. And here's my opinion about it. This isn't just a review sample. This is a battery that could have been shipped to a paying customer. That's why I'm still posting the video. It's a real test of a real product that can end up in someone's hands. If Ecoworthy sends me their latest version, I will test it with the same procedure and I'll publish the results. Let me know what you think about their reply in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.